There. Now we actually have sound. Okay, let's start over there.
Welcome to Loquacious Libations.
We'll do an
Whiskey
edit.
Wednesday
Yes.
live stream.
We will do an edit before we repost that.
Yeah,
But
that
so
makes
you'll
sense.
know. Yeah, that was fun. Hello, Brent. Brentville just tuned in.
Well, your timing
Luckily-
is perfect. We just
Right.
got all of our technical difficulties taken care
Well,
of,
I
Brent.
don't know about all of them yet, but we'll see.
Yes, you can ask us what the inside of our sphincter looks like tonight. We'll probably be able to tell you.
Well, we do have a holiday here, and I have the day off tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure you have the day off tomorrow.
I
too,
do
right?
have the day off tomorrow,
All right,
which is
very
nice.
good. Well, yeah. Happy Independence Day to all of you.
Yeah, we will toast the 56 signers tonight.
All right.
Which, I don't know, we got to do the math. 1776 to 2024, what, 248? All right.
Yep.
So,
Sure enough. Wayne Kelly is also watching us, our one of our constant fans out there.
yeah, no, it's awesome.
Brent's a return guy too there. So.
All right,
Brent
let's.
had a birthday last week.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, well,
Right behind Ross Hawthorne up in Atlanta.
happy belated.
Happy belated birthday, Brent.
All right,
do
so
it.
the whiskey sour, old school stuff. We're gonna make it the two ways that it is made commonly today. One with an egg white, and the other with aquafaba. For those of you that don't know what aquafaba is, it's chickpea juice. The juice that comes in a can of chickpeas is called aquafaba, and it foams beautifully. It doesn't impart any ill flavors. It works great in this cocktail. If you go to a lot of cocktail bars and you ask for this, you won't get any foam because they'll just take their bottle, which is Caro syrup with lemon juice, and pour it and shake it for you. If you go to a classic cocktail bar, they'll a lot of times make it with an egg white. So we're going to have it two ways tonight, since this is one of those cocktails that you can drink 7 or 8, and then go lay down on the couch and wake up tomorrow morning.
That sounds like a plan to me, especially since I don't have to work.
Now, the other thing, too, that I'm going to do in at least one of our cocktails, our 10th, just so that you know that our advertising isn't just stock pretty pictures. I know actually how to do some of those pretty pictures in these cocktails, and we'll show you. It might not be perfect because to get the dots and then the hearts, you need a dropper, an eyedropper, to make it perfect. But I'm reasonably good at this.
All right.
And I used to do that. What I would used to do is I'd put drops not across, but I put drops in like a descending order and then do spirals.
Oh, nice.
This is how I used to do it when I was at the upscale bar. So let's get to making.
Yeah, let's do that. And while you're doing that, I'll go back over our housekeeping since nobody could hear the first
Oh, yeah.
3 minutes that we were going on there, or maybe 5, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a
So,
while.
yeah, if you guys would, please be sure and go and subscribe at our YouTube. That is YouTube at Loquacious Libations. We also have our branded Facebook up and running now. It's at facebook.com/Loquacious Libations. And we have an Instagram now, which is Loquacious_Libations.
Which I should load that, I guess, on my phone.
Right.
And actually start
I've
using
tried to
it.
get all the links on our Facebook and our YouTube to cross post stuff like that too. Which brings us to another thing. I am cross posting tonight on Facebook to 2 different pages. We were able to link up the Loquacious Libations page with the Mad Hatter broadcast. So you guys should be able to see that from either page.
Well, good.
Depending on where your invitation came from.
See, we're starting to figure this shit out. You know,
Yeah.
we're like, here, what do I always say? Not as dumb as it looks, just kind of.
This one knows just enough to be dangerous sometimes. So. Of course, that's the story of life right there. For
It
everybody,
is.
pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, the only way you figure out when you're fucking up is after you fucked up.
Yes. Sometimes you know it while you're doing it and you do it anyway and then...
And then realize, oh, I'm a dumbass.
Right.
Okay.
Been there, done that. Got a few of those t-shirts.
Ounce of, I just did fresh squeezed lemon juice because that just makes a better cocktail. Right. But if you don't have fresh squeezed, it's an ounce of lemon juice, Then we do simple syrup. And we do about a half an ounce or so, thereabouts, kind of an eyeball. And this is just such an easy cocktail. Egg white. Half an egg white for one drink. Now, a lot of people will sit there and go, egg white. Egg white gives you the foam. Okay? But you have to emulsify it. So that right there is, except for the whiskey, obviously, is the cocktail. I mean,
Right.
that's the guts of the
That's
cocktail.
the mix, right, basically. So Brent or Wayne, are either one of you having a whiskey sour with us tonight, or what are you drinking if you're not? Take your pictures and show us to them on the Facebook page.
All right. Now, what's important with this particular cocktail is you have to emulsify that egg first, so you don't put ice in it right away. Get your Boston shaker, which is what this is called, seal it. And what's cool about this, but it's kind of a pain, the egg white expands and wants to blow the top of this thing off. Which
So that's still you're creating in there.
it makes it harder to get it off, believe it or not. So good. See? Ooh,
Yep,
it just
I heard
popped
it.
on me.
I heard it.
It always happens. Did it again. But you want to emulsify that real good. Couple seconds. Now you're going to put the ice in there.
Wayne's having water. That works, brother. There we go.
Then you got to let the foam sit up. Give it a minute.
Yeah, there it comes. I see it.
Yeah.
Here, let's move this. Put that back there. I hope that I don't knock it over. We'll give our cocktail the spotlight here.
Then, if you want to be, I just dumped the ice out because I'm going to make my version. If you want to be, and we didn't get a really good foam in there. If you want to be decorative, Angostura bitters. And let's see if I can just get this. Come on. We didn't get enough foam. I didn't create
Right,
enough
I see
foam.
that.
But you still got 2 hearts.
There you go. Well,
Why don't you go back around and check the shot then?
yeah, let me see what we got going here. Here's the funny part.
We're still live streaming. Because there's a delay there, right?
Yeah, and the view is fairly much in. Let's see here. Well, no, there it went.
Well, somebody's just talking to us.
Signal not working.
Some other ideas that we have for stuff coming up. And I said, thankfully, we only have like 5 followers right now.
Okay, audio disruption. Audio isn't broadcasting. Finish the live stream and start again, it says. So here we go. And hopefully we are back. Looks like we are live and public. I see the sage.
Back.
I'm hoping you guys can hear us.
What is that? We're hitting some ding dings.
It almost sounded like a guitar, but that wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to play my thing. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull us back up over here. Yes, we are live now. We have currently 1 viewer.
Which we think is Carmen.
Wayne Kelly is watching.
Oh, Wayne. Hi, Wayne. Thanks for
Okay, Wayne
sticking with
found
us,
us
man.
again.
Well, let's just toast.
Yes.
Here's to the 56. Here's to the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence who on tomorrow committed high treason against the crown and created this country. Said, fuck you, King.
There you go.
Fuck
Here's
you,
to
King
them.
Charles.
Wow. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had a whiskey sour before.
Very subtle, not too sweet.
Yep. We have two. Hopefully, Carmen has found her way back in by now. I can't tell who all yet.
Carmen's favorite too, didn't she say this?
Yeah. We have. Well, Carmen said it was her favorite. We had a couple others out there that said they preferred the whiskey sour as well. Lee mentioned that it was one of his favorites.
Yeah, no. And typically, if you go to a lot of bars, you're just going to get a bottle of Mrs. T's sour mix, and they're going to pour that, an ounce of that with 2 ounces of bourbon, shake it up for you. That will give you a foam because there's an emulsifier built into that.
Right.
You're drinking chemicals. That's why. I don't know. I'm very happy that I kind of learned how to cut my teeth as a kid, and then went to work at a bar that was a college bar, so you would think it would serve that kind of drink, but it was an upscale college bar, and they charged for it. Like, you could go down the street to a couple of, like here, literally, because the bar that I worked at doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
The building doesn't even exist anymore. The university bought the property and bulldozed everything, and
kind of like they've done on the corner out here at University and 13th.
Yeah, exactly.
Where Leonardo's by the Slice used to be.
There's nothing there
Right.
anymore but a big university building. But the competing bar, which was called the Church Key,
Right.
because it was a bar that was built into a church, a very Gothic style, smaller church, that is still there. And it was literally across the street, one door down.
Right.
If you went into that place, which was another beer bar, but you could get rail drinks and whatnot.
We've still only got 2 viewers. You keep talking. I'm going to cross-post over there and let everybody know that we've got it working over here. Because I don't think, we started with a cross-post from both pages.
Oh,
I don't think it did it when I...
Do you think that maybe is what caused the...
No, I think that was our
Internal-
local cable provider.
internal problems?
I think that was Cox Cable.
Now here,
That's what
one thing
that's what I think.
I will say, the first one that I made here, I don't really like it with the decorative touches on the top, to be honest with you.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, it does change the flavor profile ever so slightly, and when you're making it with fresh ingredients, it can taint the flavor.
Right. Okay, so I'm adding to the discussion over on the Loquacious Libations page at the moment. We're going to share it on the feed. Live feed. Back up on Mad Hatter. Hopefully that will drag everybody back over here.
I'm just thinking about our conversation prior to broadcasting was we were talking about things we want to do coming up, and we're making a lot of the mistakes and going through some of the growing pains that I think a lot of channels go through.
Right.
And this is just classic. It's like, okay, well, today is a classic fuck up.
Well, here we did so
It's not
good,
really
and
our fault, but
we had our shit together walking in this time, and then things still went down.
that's true. We didn't forget anything.
Well, no. My first issue was somehow or other I had the damn thing on mute for the first 5 minutes.
Oh, that's true.
That
and then
was
you
me.
realized it.
Saw it over here. All right. Okay. So yeah, here we go. We are on live feed there. We still only have 1, 2. There we go.
Well, there's 2 of you and there's 2 of us. We have a foursome.
We have a foursome over here. Right.
We can play
And
golf.
plus, you guys are probably rewatching some on YouTube and.
Yeah, if you're rewatching this, hey, again, you know what? I think this is a perfect example of how, at the end of the day, what is it really about?
Right.
Shit's getting crazy, and I'm telling you,
Crazy's not even the word for it at this point.
well, I think we're only just barely starting to scratch the surface of the iceberg.
I agree. It's going to be an insane summer.
Yeah, no, we can see it. It's coming, but that's out there.
That's the reason we're here. That's out there.
That's out there. We're in here. And one of the things we have gotten away from because Michael's been too busy is a lot of the stuff that he has going on back here. A lot of when we used to get together, a lot of times we would just spend it working on pieces of music. I mean, I don't play
Just listening. Even.
I don't play anything, and it was funny because somebody that he's mentioned before, a gentleman by the name of Lee Sanders, which is a close friend of Michael's. Lee asked Michael a question about 2 or 3 years ago now.
We get Carmen back.
Oh, good. And he asked, he says, well, what instrument does Scott play? And Michael's response was, well, he doesn't play anything.
Play anything, but he
I don't.
sounds like a musician.
And Lee was just absolutely taken aback because we had conversation at that point over text and I think by phone. Mm-hmm. And noticing, I would notice different things. I mean, he was really, he probably still really appreciates Richie Kotzen's music.
Oh yeah,
which
he does.
It's hard not to appreciate, especially his guitar playing style. He's a finger picker, and he's an amazing finger picker.
Look up Winery Dogs or his solo material. It's Richie
correct.
Kotzen,
I mean, I would say he's as good, or if maybe not better than Mark Knopfler, who is a world-renowned finger picker.
Yeah.
So
also played a telly.
Yeah, and correct. Plays a telly. So
that's Telecaster for those of you who don't know.
Correct. I don't play a damn thing, but I listen to music like. And Michael's the first one that's ever really kind of said it to me. You listen to music like a musician, and I don't know how else to listen to music. I don't know.
And for those who listen the way we do, that's really the best way to explain it. It's a whole different ballgame than somebody who just drives down the road listening to their favorite song on the radio or whatever and blasting and singing along.
Tap into the music.
It's
out of rhythm.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's analytical is the best way that I can describe it.
See,
wouldn't you say?
Well, to me, it's just mathematical.
Okay. Same. Semantics and what we're trying to
I think
put
so.
Across. Because it is. It's the chord structures. It's the time signatures, and that's all numbers based. You know? Yeah. And the different parts, because not only do you have the chord changes and time signatures, but you got all the individual instruments.
Yeah, I was going to say that make up the whole piece and how it all fits together.
Deborah Idson is watching. That would be the wife of the bass player of Rough and Ready.
Rough and Ready. I thought Laughing House.
No, that Wayne stepped into his part.
Oh, okay.
On the center stage.
Yeah, cool.
So, Deborah, if Mike is there with you, cheers to you.
Cheers. Again, can't say this enough because it's tomorrow.
Right.
Cheers to the 56.
Cheers to the 56.
56 signers of the Declaration of Independence. I say that every year. I post it somewhere, or I don't really. Social media, I don't know. I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah, you stopped doing that a little while back. I kind of. Oh, thank you, Deborah. She says she's loving the hat. Well, hats are kind of my trademark.
That's why we call him the Hatter.
That's right, I'm the Hatter. But, he's in Oklahoma. Deborah is in Florida. That's right. You guys are Floridians. They recently moved to the free state of Florida.
I didn't know this. But for the next election, this coming election, if we have one, that's what I said. I said it was going to get crazy.
Yes.
Hint, hint.
Yep.
Florida has gone from 21 electoral votes to 30 electoral votes in this election because of the amount of people that have come to Florida, that have moved to Florida, the fastest growing state in the nation.
David Kite is out there watching, too. He was in Hateville High School marching band with me. And actually, David, I've known him a lot longer than that. We go all the way back to, second grade?
I was going to say, is that a grade school friend?
Yeah, that's all the way back to elementary school. David Kite and I have been knowing each other for a very long time. Deborah says we keep freezing it. We're having a little bit of Wi-Fi issues down here tonight. I don't know if it's our cable provider or the storms.
Yeah, it's because it's weather, some weather in the area tonight.
But hopefully, we will. Wayne Kelly says that's a big if, by the way. Hopefully, we will straighten out here in a little bit, and it won't be quite so jumpy. For those of you who are just joining us or joining us for the first time, because I know we've got a couple of first timers here too, please be sure to go to our YouTube, subscribe over there.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Right, exactly. That's youtube.com/@Loquacious Libations, just like it's spelled right here.
Hey,
Also, we have our own branded Facebook, same thing. It's facebook.com/Loquacious Libations. And we have an Instagram. Instagram is Loquacious_Libations.
now, did somebody already have it on Instagram? Or?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Just the two words by itself, they did.
To put together?
Right.
Well, it is what it is.
Yep.
I need to put that on my phone so I can take pictures of the cocktails that I'm making.
And you know what I thought about that? Also, you're talking about doing some of the extra content?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Your practice ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and, I like to add to my inventory because I probably, off the top of my head, know how to make probably 30 cocktails. Just because those are the 30 cocktails that are pretty much regularly making, and it'll refresh my memory. But there's nothing wrong with building that inventory. Not that I'm ever going to go back to being a cocktail bartender.
Right.
Or I doubt it. If I did, it would just be for kicks and giggles.
Right.
But
I see we're freezing up. Or I don't know if anybody is able to see us at the moment or not. And is it the Wi-Fi again?
We're having a lot of technical difficulties tonight.
I have a feeling this is more the storm. So here we're still showing as being live. Wayne, if you can hear us and see us, can you give us some kind of indication, or anybody in here? Hello, anybody there? Can anybody see? All right, let's try it again.
We're trying again. Distant ship smoke on the horizon.
I'm going to pull this and then go look and see if we are in fact live. We're showing as being live again. Except it's showing me on the side there. I'm not over there yet.
Distant ship.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Hold on just a minute. If you are able to hear us and see us, please stand by. We are experiencing further technical difficulties. It's a little stormy.
And I thought of that today, and then I kind of just blew the idea off.
Right.
But maybe I'll do that for next week, so then at least we'll have video, and we could do I can create an introduction, and we can post that.
Okay, let's see what we got now.
I got to charge the camera, I'm sure, anyways.
Right. And if you can see us and hear us out there, we're sorry for the
technical difficulties that we are having tonight. I think a lot of it has to do with the local cable network, not so much our equipment at all, because we've been using the same equipment for 6 or 7 weeks now. We're 6 or 7 weeks in, can you believe it?
Would you call 9?
9?
Yeah.
Shows you how much I don't know.
So we did, actually, wait a minute. Yeah, 9, because we did Manhattan, then we did 2 weeks of tastings, which was Henry McKenna and Rare Breed.
Uh-huh.
Then we did the blind. No, wait. Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke. I was just going to say Jack and Coke.
5th show was the blind.
And this is number 9.
This is the 4th after the blind. So yeah, we're on number 9.
Love
number
Potion number 9.
I was thinking more like the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
Number 9. I have no idea whether we're broadcasting or not because...
Well, I think that's a good excuse to make my second drink.
Hey, you know what? Do it. Have at it.
It gives me more time to recover before I have to drive home.
There you go. Can anyone see us live? We try to get a response out of somewhere. My actual phone is the one recording, or I'd be trying to get in contact with a couple of people that way. It's still showing us as live, and it's showing us as frozen. But that is showing us as actually broadcasting. So here's the thing. I'm on cellular network over there, so we may actually be broadcasting.
Oh,
If that's the case, we're going to keep going as if we are broadcasting.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
for
why
that
not?
thing.
I mean,
and if we have to dud out and
it is what it is.
yeah, if we have to do extra content or come back and just redo Whiskey Sours next week, I'm sure you or I, neither one will complain too much about that, right?
No, I mean, it's a great cocktail. It's a classic cocktail. It's an old school classic cocktail. What's funny is because it's such an old school classic cocktail, there's nothing that just seems to be exciting about it, except everybody orders it all the time,
Right.
because it's really good. It's really quite tasty. Now this time I'm going to make mine with aquafaba,
Okay.
since I don't have any more egg white
Extra
anyways.
egg white, right?
And what's funny is one of the things I just noticed, the classic recipe calls for a half of an egg white. But a lot of times when you're at the bar, unless you're making multiples, you'd put a whole egg white in. There is, and I'd forgotten this, but there is an enormous amount of difference in the amount of foam created using a whole egg white, emulsifying a whole egg white.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense, though, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, something is going on with the Wi-Fi. I'm hoping that since I'm on the cellular network over there that we are actually getting through. But just to let you guys know, we can't tell if we actually are.
You know what it is? And then...
Yeah, they're getting the stutter effect. At least they were when we were doing the Wi-Fi. So I think since we pulled it off of that, even though Cox said their Wi-Fi is online, I'm not believing it because of the response that I'm getting over here. So hopefully you guys can see us.
Well, and this
If not, we'll redo some stuff next week.
well, this is teaching us a lesson too.
Yeah. Have a backup plan.
Right, Plan B. So at least we can load up the video to YouTube.
Right.
When it's time to do that.
Exactly, because right now we're going to have an incomplete video going up to YouTube based on whatever actually posts to Facebook when we're done here.
And I have I don't know if this is worthy of some
3
time.
segments too. Good.
No, the equipment that I have that I was making the videos that blew the Master Gardener stuff up is really turns out a quality picture. 4K.
Sweet.
Yeah,
we're using an iPhone getting 4K when everything actually works. I noticed last week for some reason it recorded at 480. It's so inconsistent. I'm not sure whether it's Facebook or my inexperience with it or what. I'll be totally honest with you about that.
Yeah. Here, like we said before. Like it makes a difference?
Like it makes a damn difference. We're sitting here having fun.
Mm-hmm. Having
How
cocktails.
many people we got watching? 1, 2, 3. Who gives a rat's ass we're having fun?
That's all.
If we end up with a couple of hundred folks, that's fine too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can never have too many friends.
Well, what is it that I collect?
Friends. You've always done so.
Yeah. Everybody collects something. You collect something. You know you do.
The sage collects friends.
I call it acquaintances, because I really only have like 5 good friends. But I collect it here, like Brent. Brent is watching us or trying to watch us tonight.
Right.
I would consider Brent a friend.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Could I go and say hi to him and shoot the shit with him over at the dealership? Fuck yeah.
Would we have a drink with him? Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell shit from over here. I'm going to step around here for just a second and check that.
Okay. Hey, for those of you, if we are broadcasting.
And it looks like we may be, because Susie Q is watching. Wayne says, got you back. Wayne Kelly is watching. Susie Q is watching. We do have our 2 viewers.
All right.
So even though we can't see everything over there, and we can't see what you guys are typing to us, we're just going to be vamping the best we can on this side.
Yeah, we're winging it.
Yep. And I'm going to adjust our view here a little bit while I'm over in this direction.
Now, folks, I'm on to my second cocktail tonight. The second one is one of the options that you have as a bartender. And if you go to even really good cocktail bars today, they might not make your whiskey sour with an egg white. They might very well be making it with what this is. It's called aquafaba. Aquafaba is, if you ever made hummus, you know the when you take your chickpea can and you strain out your chickpeas, the juice that's left or goes down the drain, well, that's aquafaba. So, and that's really common these days, making this drink with aquafaba. It foams and emulsifies just like an egg does. It does not impart a poor flavor at all to the cocktail. And it's how, I mean, there are lots and lots and lots of bars that if you go to their establishment, they'll make this drink with that. And it's made the same way. You need to emulsify it without ice to begin with. It doesn't blow up though.
I'm checking to see if we've got Wi-Fi again by some miracle. So I'm still on drink number 1 over here. I better finish this so I can try one the way you're doing it. Don't play yourself this time. We didn't catch that on camera either.
It's not like it's hard to drown these. Well, here, I'll make this one yours.
No, you go ahead and do yours first. You were in the process. Still can't see anything from over here. We can't monitor this at all.
Well,
And it may take us a little bit to get the replay put up tonight because we're going to be working with at least 3 different segments. That I'm going to have to
that's right.
run together, probably put them in Reaper, and then try to match them up best I can. You know, I might even have a little fun with it, and I'll go and do like I did the commercial the other day, and I'll put a little cut shit into technical difficulties. Please stand by.
yeah. Sure, that makes sense. Why not?
May have a little fun with the video when we put the replay up. That part may not be up tonight because some of that does take a little bit of time. But yeah, we had a little fun with media this past week. Scott and I both were messing around with video editing and that kind of thing. I'm sure a few of you probably saw the thing that I put up. That was all made possible by the home studio back here, using a combination of a utility called Canva. So, I mean, that's really the only thing I've messed with as far as an
See,
editor
look.
goes yet. Oh, yeah, you got serious foam going on that one.
Yeah, which I could do the 3 dots and make the hearts.
And, yeah, we talked about that already.
I know. But in case it didn't make it into the live stream,
Yeah.
we don't know at this point.
We don't know at
We
this
won't
point,
know.
right.
So I'm going to start making your second cocktail, I'm guessing. Time
Yes,
for?
sir. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Oh,
And I'm okay if we go a little long tonight. Number 1, we both have the day off tomorrow. And number 2, we have had some technical difficulties that have caused a few delays with us tonight. If there is anybody new
you know,
tuning in out there or anything.
the other thing, too, did you put the poll up on this? No, it didn't.
No,
We
I
couldn't
wasn't
figure
able
that
to
out.
Get that part.
I
Well, I
couldn't
think we
remember.
were already starting to have Wi-Fi problems because it was bogging down on me like crazy when I was trying to do stuff.
Makes
So,
you wonder if that was the problem.
Yeah, could be. You know, like I said, I think maybe the storms and
You know,
we've got a new fiber optic
yeah, I
company
know,
putting
supposed to
stuff
be.
in. I think they keep knocking Cox's shit out of line or something. Because
You know-
it seems to be happening a lot more than it usually did.
Why don't we talk about what we're going to do next then?
Yeah. Okay.
So let's just do
Oh,
it live
yeah.
on air. Since none of you are here, one person, thank you very much. You know who you are.
Wayne Powers. No, I'm
Wayne-
calling his ass out
Okay.
because he was a smart ass and he put up margaritas to our poll question.
And you know, there's
Thank you,
actually,
Wayne. I've got something special for you coming up. We were talking about extra
yeah,
content.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do have some extra content coming out, especially for you, Wayne Powers. But anyway, as Scott was saying, our poll.
Nobody really answered it
Well, except Wayne.
except for
yeah,
Wayne. And
smart ass.
well, and you know what, Wayne? I got to tell you something. My daddy always said, and I'm not a big fan of my dad, but this is a piece of wisdom that, if you think about it, it really makes sense. Everybody likes some, but nobody likes smart.
I don't know. My philosophy has always been better a smart one than a dumb one.
Oh yeah, I agree.
as far as that goes. Pardon me, choked myself up over here. Anyway, as we were saying, the poll. Scott has kind of posed a question to me, and we decided to just put it out there to you guys. For our next phase, this may not be next week, but for our next phase of a series of shows, what would you guys like to see us do? Do you want to see us do the bonded budget bourbon blend?
Right. We have 4. We have to go hunt for probably 1 bottle because I think I know where one is. Hopefully they have it in stock still. When I called them 2 weeks ago,
down the street just to see.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll make the extra content that we want.
Yeah.
We should, and there's
it's a new store. They'll appreciate the.
We can go to Dorn's. We can go to Millhopper. We can, we can just make the rounds a little bit.
Yeah.
And talk to the proprietors and make sure it's okay to film their stores and tell them what we do and promote the channel and all that good stuff.
Right. Yeah, I'm still not getting anything over on this side.
Yeah. Either we are or we aren't at this point.
Well, at least we actually know we are broadcasting. I'm just not able to get a monitor over here because we're not on a cellular plan with that phone.
All right. There is your...
All right. Did you need some more syrup or anything? I meant to tell you I had some more in there.
I thought I made exactly enough for 4 cocktails. 2 each, yeah. Good to the last drop. My wife, Elizabeth, she laughs. She's like, why do you use a spice jar? It's it's exactly the right size.
Right. It's measured right. A whole bit.
All right. Aquafaba.
So,
now you can really see.
Yep.
Good layer of foam.
So Scott does a practice cocktail each week with Elizabeth, his wife.
Yep.
And I think as long as you're actually practicing, why not just have her film it?
Yeah, no, that's what I think I'm going to do that. Although I will say, if I'm going to make The Godfather, I have to use single barrel proof because that's the only Jack I have.
Well, I've got the number 7 here. You can take that back with you if you think you might do that this week. Now you mentioned another one too, though, that you did recently, and I can't remember. It started with a B.
Well, let's see. Recently I've made Negronis, which is a gin drink.
Oh, well, okay.
I've made Boulevardiers, which is a whiskey drink.
That's the one.
That is a Negroni, but basically it's no gin, it's whiskey.
That's the one you mentioned. Right.
That is a 1930s first print of that cocktail, or both of those cocktails actually, was in the Savoy cocktail, but the Barkeeper's Guide, Savoy's Barkeeper's Guide, I think is what it's called, or the Savoy Cocktail Guide, something like that. Mm-hmm. And both of those are outlined in there, which they're both. If you're a whiskey lover, you'll like the Boulevardier more than the Negroni. But if you go to, there's a lot of cocktail bars that are high production, classic cocktail bars that they'll have 2 cocktails sometimes on tap. One is a Negroni. They'll pre-mix like literally 100 gallons.
Just so they have them ready to go and pour.
And the Old Fashioned is the other one. Those are both of them easy to mix. Very simple cocktails, and then you dress them out at the very end. So you tap it, dress it out, serve it.
Right.
If you're serving, I mean, you got to think about big cities. So if you're in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, especially New York,
serving volume like that.
Because New York, there's big, Boston, you might be serving 1,000 Negronis a night.
Right.
Because you're going to have 3 or 4 waves of customers come through the door.
Right.
Depending on the time that you have to close.
Exactly. Right.
All right, where was I?
Are we getting anything over here? No, something went wrong. Please check your connection. So, again, we know we're broadcasting there. Just can't get a monitor on it over here. I don't know about you guys, how few of you are out there and everything, but we're having fun doing this, and we hope you're enjoying watching us too.
Yeah, it's your last time for input on our poll. Going back to, that's something I've noticed, at least myself. Watching the replays, I'll have a thought.
Right.
I'll get 3/4 of the way through the thought and then get distracted, go on a tangent, never come back, complete the thought. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Well, the thing is, now you guys are getting a window into what our conversations are always like anyway.
But you know what's funny about that too is I realize Michael knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
We fill in those blanks naturally. We do. We never think that the blanks are even there. It completes the circuit somehow. And that's the funny thing is there's only a few people in my life that I've ever clicked with like that. And you of course being one of them. The other, you've mentioned him, Lee Sanders.
Oui.
And my other Scott was Scott Landers, who I came up through high school with. And he lives down in Florida now too. He's down in Eustis.
Oh, actually, there's a couple really good liquor stores down in Eustis.
Are they? Well, we might have to go visit Scott. Now, he's a beer drinker. He's not a whiskey guy.
It's all right.
But you know what? It would be fun to take him with us.
Twist my arm and drink a stout with him.
You think my Georgia accent's bad?
Well, Mike could, huh?
Mike could. You might could have found somebody here that has a better Georgia accent than me. You guys are going to get
Now look at the phone.
I see that phone. All kind of.
Now the color too. The color's a little darker,
right?
Just a hair darker. But again, here's to the
just
56.
To show, here we go to the 56, and let's pull them up here for them, so you can see that foam a little bit better too.
Yeah, and it stays. So,
cheers.
Cheers. Flavor's a little different.
It is a little bit. It's almost a little lighter.
It's subtle, yeah. I would agree. It's not as viscous.
Right. The egg white brings a thickness to it. Not really a creaminess, but a coating.
Yeah. It provides viscosity to the drink.
Right. And this is just shook up air, more effect to it.
Correct.
Like you said, it doesn't really alter the taste to it that much or anything.
Here's another really good point that we've made before.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's two drinks each out of that tonight, and it was, what, about here?
Yeah.
And that's 2 ounces each drink. So
it goes to show you that, going out, and this is really one of the points, the value propositions that we want to make is there's a lot of guys on YouTube, and there's a lot of channels on YouTube, and God bless them, I watch them. And I appreciate the information that they put out tremendously. And when I first really kind of reconnected with my whiskey heritage, my whiskey taste buds.
You keep going.
I went out and got some of the more expensive bottles that there are. But I keep falling back to the same thing. It's like, okay, I can go in here. Give me the Maker's Mark.
Yep.
I can go buy one bottle of something that's the same price as 3 of these. Now, that one bottle, I'm expecting something different. Okay, I'm expecting a classic sipping whiskey that I'm just going to do nothing but sip on. I'm not going to make cocktails with it. But this, okay, let's just say that bottle that I go out and pay $140 for, $120 for, $150 for.
Which, by the way, this Maker's Mark 46 not in that range. Currently, it goes right now.
I think
$46.99 retail, and I found it
on sale for $32.
Recently I found it for $30, and at Sam's the other day I found it for $24. Was it?
Okay.
That I sent you? Yeah.
And that just, if you like a little sweeter whiskey,
and I do. That's obviously my favorite out of our blind, which we
the
did regular Maker's Mark for that.
Right. Well, it goes back to the conversation we had last week. How you took that nugget of information when I mentioned the cask strength version of this and just said, well, because I know that cask strength stuff has got higher proof points, much higher.
Right.
and your palate's not there yet.
Right.
And I get that. Because here, I can drink a 125 proof whiskey and make my way through the alcohol.
Right.
You know,
Through the hug.
to get the flavor. Right. Through the hug. But that's not my preference.
Right.
My preference is 100 proof. That's 100,
Yeah.
105.
And something else. The makers that we did, the regular makers, was only
90 proof?
Right. Now this is the 46 is not much more than that. It's only 94.
94. Yeah.
Right. It's 47% ABV. But the tastes are a little richer than the regular Maker's Mark, and obviously they place a premium on it because it goes for normally about $20 more than the.
Now, here,
same.
there is one thing that last week I brought Michael a piece of information, and I found some more information this week. A piece of information that he was sad to hear, and that was that Buffalo Trace is considering, because of the success of the Benchmark line, of getting rid of this label.
My granddaddy's brand.
Well, there's a reason for that, and here's the real reason. It's an economic reason. There's a big rumor in the market now. In the since we broadcast last week and talked about this subject, Jim Beam makes a product called Old Granddad. That's a Beam product. Okay, and that will be one of the bonded. Old Granddad Bonded is
I've heard of it from all my life. Never tried it.
Great whiskey.
Right.
Excellent. It's a high rye bourbon. And what I mean by high rye, here, what we're drinking tonight, this is 75% corn in the mash bill, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. Maker's Mark, I believe this mash bill is 65% corn, 30% wheat, and 5%. I can't remember exactly, but usually they don't have the mash bills on the thing. Yeah. I think that's mash bill, Buffalo Trace mash bill number 1. And they don't publish their mash bills. They just tell you which one. They have, I think, 3 mash bills. Anyways, the reason for the discontinuation of Old Granddad 114, which is, it's 114 proof, which is why it's called Old Granddad 114. Why are they discontinuing it? Well, it's because they bring that, it's simple economics, really. They bring that bottle to market for around $25. Okay? They get 250 bottles out of a barrel. Well, do the math. There has to be the wholesaler in there. There has to be the retailer in that $25. Mm-hmm. Well, that means that they're selling their barrel. So Jim Beam is selling the barrel of whiskey for about $900, $950 for a barrel. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the barrel market and you look at Beam's cost, if you go to Jim Beam and say, I want to buy a barrel, I want to buy a barrel of this whiskey. Old Granddad is a 6-year, a 5 to 7 year bourbon. So let's just call it a 6-year aged bourbon. I want to buy a 6-year-old bottle of bourbon from this rick house. The cost of that is right now in the market $4,000 to $5,000. So you're selling it to yourself in a sense for under $1,000, or you can sell it in the market for $4,000. What are you going to do?
Right.
All right. Well, Heaven Hill went through the same process. There was a really good Heaven Hill product, and I forget the label on it, but it was a bottle and bond product, and it was number one, really good. Heaven Hill makes Elijah Craig. That's their flagship. Mm-hmm. Great whiskey. Heaven Hill, about 3 or 4 years ago, I can't remember now. Unfortunately, my memory sucks.
Well, when you've been in a coma like you and I have, you got kind of, here, like the Quantum Leap said, a little bit of Swiss cheese going on up there sometimes.
Heaven Hill, though, going back to Heaven Hill.